This is a parable from the Bible, specifically from the book of Matthew. A parable, in essence, is a story that Jesus used to communicate deeper spiritual truths and principles in a way that was relatable to the people of his time. In this particular parable, we are introduced to a man who is preparing to embark on a lengthy journey to a distant land. Before setting off, this man decided to entrust his 3 servants with portions of his wealth, expecting them to manage it wisely while he was away. To the first servant, he gave 5 bags of gold, a substantial sum that indicated a high level of trust. The second servant received 2 bags of gold, still a significant amount but less than the first. The third and final servant was given 1 bag of gold. This allocation was based on the master's assessment of each servant's abilities and trustworthiness. The servant who received the 5 bags of gold immediately took action. He invested the money and worked diligently, ultimately doubling the amount to 10 bags of gold. His efforts and enterprising spirit paid off significantly. The second servant, inspired perhaps by a similar sense of responsibility, also went to work with his 2 bags of gold. He, too, managed to double the money, ending up with 4 bags of gold. Both of his servants demonstrated initiative and a willingness to take calculated risks to increase their master's wealth. The third servant, however, reacted differently. Paralyzed by fear and an overly cautious mindset, he chose to dig a hole in the ground and bury a single bag of gold. He rationalized this decision by thinking it was the safest way to ensure he wouldn't lose the money, avoiding any potential risk of it being stolen or lost through unwise investments. After a considerable period, the master returned from his journey and called his servants to account for the money he had entrusted to them. The first servant, proud of his achievement, presented the 10 bags of gold. The master, overjoyed and impressed, responded with high praise, saying, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share in your master's happiness." The second servant then stepped forward, presenting his 4 bags of gold. The master, equally pleased with this servant's diligence and success, praised him and promised greater responsibilities and rewards, saying, "You have also been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things." Finally, the third servant came forward, bringing his single bag of gold. He explained his actions by saying that he was afraid of losing the money and decided to hide it to ensure it remained safe. The master's reaction was starkly different. He was furious and deeply disappointed. He chastised the servant for his lack of initiative and failure to even consider placing the money in a bank where it could have earned interest. In his anger, the master took back the 1 bag of gold and gave it to the servant who had 10 bags, stating, "For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them." The moral of this parable is clear and compelling. It teaches us about the importance of using our talents and resources wisely, rather than letting fear prevent us from taking action. The third servant's inaction and fear of failure led to his downfall, while the other 2 servants' willingness to take risks and work hard brought them great rewards. God calls upon us to be faithful stewards of the gifts and opportunities He provides. By doing so, we not only fulfill our responsibilities, but also open the door to even greater blessings and opportunities, where we demonstrate faithfulness and diligence with what we have. God can entrust us with more, rewarding us beyond our imagination.